'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be.
The Shakers, who are officially known as the United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing, formed in England in the late 18th century. They were an offshoot of the Quakers, and what differentiated their belief is what scholars often call the 3 C's: celibacy, communal living, and confession of sin. As they formed, they eventually came to the early United States and settled along the eastern seaboard with a height of 6,000 members.
The Shakers are particularly known for their products, for their object culture. But what's so interesting about the Shakers is that their objects are fundamentally tied to their belief systems.
And they believed in equality, and equality among genders and among races. And that is very, very important. And to do an exhibition on this work, to think about people who were thinking about ecology and were making work that reflected this deep belief in the environment, that there are things that we can take from them to understand how we can move forward.
Their quest to create heaven on earth is really visible in anything they created. So it's a very holistic perception of their material world, in which every item is, on the one hand, an immediate solution to a need. So they first created objects for their own use, and then early on also sold these items to the outside world. They basically saw labor as a central act of worship, so a kind of devotion to simplicity in a sense of an attitude, much more than an aesthetic.
Everything was in service of the community, not the individual. And that's really what marks them as distinct in this period. What drove their production always was this commitment to simplicity, a lack of adornment in their objects, which also in turn make them very easy to standardize and therefore mass produce.
As the Shakers' way of life really revolved around agricultural practices and manual labor, they developed their own tools to complete tasks around the community and in the society. These tools really strike a balance between craftsmanship and mass production. And this is a really nice overlap between utility and artistry.
Order was really important in the world of the Shakers, even how they organized their villages. I mean, even the sheer fact of living collectively, living together with up to 100 people in a dwelling house, required simple, pragmatic solutions. And keeping open spaces clean and orderly was very central to their belief system of creating that heaven on earth.
During a time of spiritual awakening known as the era of manifestations in the mid-1800s, the Shakers created hundreds of what they called gift drawings. These were vibrant, visionary works, mostly made by Shaker women, seen as spiritual messages or divine gifts. These drawings reflect core Shaker beliefs like the dual nature of God, the harmony between heaven and earth, and the spiritual order of the cosmos.
When we thought about how could we not just bring the Shaker ideas up to date, but really think about how they would resonate in our kind of contemporary society with the types of challenges that we're grappling with. It was interesting to look at both artists and designers whose work is very much focused on similar things. So how are we in community? How their practice is their own belief system in a way, or could be. How we think about faith or gender issues, questions of identity. I mean, these are constantly things that we're thinking about, and I think in many ways those are the types of legacies that I think are very much informing contemporary artists and designers.